Cheer up, crew cut. You taking notes?
After waiting a decade for a new adaptation of the Devil May Cry series, we finally have a release date for a sequel, and it still feels like we're a decade away. However, that doesn't stop us from at least talking about it. After taking a look back at the previous games and listening to your guys' feedback, I've compiled a list of things we want to see in Devil May Cry 5. So, here it is, 10 things we want to see in Devil May Cry 5.
Devil May Cry.
Number 1, we need a training mode. Let's start off with something basic. A training mode is a great way to get your skills sharper at the game. There has been plenty of times you wanted to test out that one combo or that one move, but let me be the first to say that it can be difficult to do it against a spongy enough enemy to test it on without them being a prick or countering every move that you're trying to do, or them just outright dying after poking them too hard. Let's face it, if there's one thing DMC got right, it's having a training mode to sharpen even the skills of a beginner. And for heaven's sake, there's been modders that turned DMC4's Bloody Palace mode into a training ground, and for them I say, good on you guys, you have become a godsend for those PC players that needed it. Speaking of Bloody Palace. And number 2, we need more for the Bloody Palace. Now, as easy as it would be to say that we just want the Bloody Palace to be back and not as a DLC like DMC did, I think we're all pretty positive that it's coming back as it's become a pretty big staple in the series at this point. However, it could come with some improvements. Honestly, most of us don't see the point in having to get all your health and combo upgrades transferred from the campaign. Bloody Palace is a test of your wit, skill, and endurance. So why not just give a fully maxed out character from the start and leave the upgrades to the replayable campaign? At this point, it's become a very unimportant step considering you won't really try to tackle the Bloody Palace until you have maxed out stats anyway. I mean, if you really want to tackle the Bloody Palace with no upgrades at all, just make it its own mode or difficulty. And, you know what? While you're at it, add some various difficulties to it as well. Not as many as the campaign, but I'm sure an easy, normal, or hard difficulty wouldn't hurt the lifespan of the game. It would probably just add more achievements to the grind, but let's talk more about achievements. Number 3, more unlockables and collectibles. Capcom, I love you, but if you take this opportunity just to throw in more hidden items, I swear to God, I'm gonna. Let's get real here. One of the coolest things for the franchise is the secret things you unlock by completing a playthrough of the game. So let's take it the extra mile and add more to that. No, I don't mean another difficulty for the game for the love of God, but instead add more secret cosmetics like in DMC4 Special Edition, or add achievements that aren't just unlocked by Steam or my Xbox, but within the game so you can earn rewards by completing these achievements. Go crazy, unlock a mode where everyone has big heads or everything is in different colors. Extra cutscenes, Easter eggs, throwbacks, more cosmetics as well, not just skins but different weapons too. Give me a reason to go through all the levels of the torturous Bloody Palace, or give something for each of the 20 levels beaten so people who can't get too far have a reason to keep pushing on and get better at the game. Or maybe give something for so many S ranks during missions. Come on Capcom, go crazy! And for number 4, we have more modes. Now I know this kind of ties into the last one, but hear me out for just a second. This is less about more modes to unlock and more about the reasons for us to play through the game time and time again. Previously, we had the Turbo mode, which made the game go a little bit faster, and DMC's Must Style system, which made the game only allow the player to do damage after obtaining an S style minimum. Even DMC's Hardcore system, which changed the enemy's spawn, health pool behavior, as well as the player's window of time to land combos and evade. Modes like this is what makes it fun to go through the Devil May Cry campaigns countless times while still having fun with each endeavor. However, it wouldn't hurt to add more modes too. Why not add a timer for those speedrunners? Or a turbo mode where you can set a custom speed. Want to play at 250% speed? Well, you're batshit crazy, but go for it. While we're at it, I honestly think Heaven and Hell, as well as Hell and Hell mode, should be classified as modes and not difficulties to clear up confusion. That way, they can also be played on any difficulty as well, changing how the enemies behave and how much health they have. That's more referring to the Hell and Hell mode. And for number 5, more characters. With 3 playable characters with the new game coming out, it should make sense to insert characters with each campaign as done by DMC4 previously. But if we're all being honest here, would it not be interesting to see characters like Lady and Trish have their own campaigns as well? Unlockables? DLCs? I don't care, just add the characters to do it. We wanted to see more of these characters. Virgil, Lady, Trish, Lucia, Nico, or anyone new. Just add them, just like Super Smash Bros. Everyone is here. Devil May Cry edition. Number 6, keep adding content over launch. Now this doesn't necessarily tie into games as a service, but wouldn't it be cool to continue to see post-launch content so the game doesn't just outright die after a couple of years? More campaigns, modes, cosmetics, and before any of you make the comment of DLC contains cut content from the base game, Hey, that doesn't apply to every game, and some devs do continue to support the game over time. Yes, a good heart coming from game developers does in fact exist, and is quite common too. Although, if this is rumored to in fact be the last game of the Son of Sparta storyline, then I will not hesitate to throw money at the screen for more DLC after the game launches, even 5 years after. Number 7. More unique weapons. Now this one's a given. Every game thus far has contained new weapons for Dante. Some recycled, some bizarre, and some just outright wicked. So you might be asking yourself, what's the point of talking about this point in the first place? Well, you make a good point. Moving on. No. Hey, sit your ass down for a second. Let's talk about this. The point is that we don't just want recycled weapons from the previous games. We do in fact want to see more weapons introduced into the game. For each of the characters. Dante, Nero, V, no, fuck you. I'm not calling them anything else until confirmed by a developer. Weapons are what make the game more fun and interesting for the combat, as well as some top-notch cutscenes. Juicy cutscenes. Number 8. Nero's combat variety. Going back on the last point, it's important to have unique weapons, yes, but it's also nice to have a variety of them as well, something Nero desperately lacked in Devil May Cry 4. If Dante will go into the next game continuing to be able to switch weapons, why not Nero too? Expanding the arsenal for the character should easily improve the performance of the character as well, although the gameplay trailer did seem to show Nero using different arms. Number 9. Interesting or challenging enemies. Okay, to say that the series hasn't already had this would just be flat out silly, but some more than others. I gotta say though, DMC did bring an interesting roster of enemies to fight in the game. Combat was varied, and always kept the player on their toes as you were required to switch weapons often to match the enemy you fought. This kept the combat from just being crowd controlled to the max.
Awesome to the max.
Which, trust me, can become tedious. However, on the other side of the spectrum, also avoiding enemies that are vulnerable to less than a handful of attacks is worse. Blitz, for example, being fun and different than the other enemies will always require the player to do the same thing to take him down, which kills any variety in combat at all, as well as taking too much time, which slows down the pace of the game. And trust me, in a game like DMC, pace is everything. Number 10. The One-Liners. Admit it, you like them, I like them, we need more of them.
That's a solid performance for an old fart like you.
Fire's bad for the complexion. I burn easily, never tan.
I think that look suits you better.
This party's getting crazy. Let's rock.
Cheesy, great, memorable. They're what make characters like Dante so recognizable and lovable. Why be serious when you can toy with your enemies? And from the looks of it, DMC 5 will be no different, but fingers crossed we get some solid ones to stick around for the future to come.
Hey, you have to hit every single bump in the road?
Training modes, more content, unique weapons, enemies? There's so much to look forward to for Devil May Cry 5 when it comes out. Hopefully we get most of the things from this list to make it to the game. As per usual, if you agree or disagree with any of my points listed before, be sure to let me know and tell everybody in the comment section below. You know the drill, hit that subscribe button, and like the video if you support me in my long-term goal for world domination. Thanks for watching, fuck Blitz, I've been Halfpint, and I'll see you guys next time.